How do you make Bass and Dean stand out? If from a business point of view, you look at the main street, it's quite a depressed little place. It's tired. I think sometimes in business, we get so caught up in what we're doing, we forget to look at how our customers look at us. And so you have to agree with me. You might feel a little bit upset, and I might upset a few people today. Please forgive me, but the place does look a little depressed. Did we need to open the road? I see stores right from the start of the traffic lights. The first two buildings, they just seem so closed up. I look at the chemist and I've never had the inclination to stop there because it's closed up like a fort. I move down and I see a store that's lost its veranda. And then to have myself being told by one gentleman that we went to visit, I was a bit shocked. I thought you were closed. There was nothing in your window to display your wares. And now that I've come in, the place again still looked tired, but there was some wonderful product in the inside window. Oh no, I couldn't possibly put in a display in the window again. Every time I do that, I get too busy. And it's just too difficult. How passionate are you about your business today to the day that you were passionate when you first opened? I get emotional just thinking about my first day of business. My bum was going like this. Fear. Absolute, pure, unadulterated fear. I'd spent all that money. Do you really want to hang around? Maybe we already have hung around for too long, moaning about how it's the Shire, how it's the street, how it's the government, how it's the state government, how it's this, how it's that. Challenge yourselves. And so when you go into a giant supermarket where you no longer just pick up things from shelves, they have certain places where their staff. That staff are most of the time bored shitless. And they don't really care excepting to do the minimum amount of work for their daily dollar. And yet when you go into private business, if you're lucky, you find someone with a bit of passion that actually cares if you come back next week. And can you carry all that? Can I give you a bag for that? How much of us really try and find out about our customers and how good an experience they're having? Get a friend who never shops with you, a friend that you're willing to lose. Because when they tell you the truth about your business, you corner them and you say, I'm going to get you to go to my business when I'm not there, and I want you to write me a report. But write me a report like you're the first time shopper to my district. Write me a report on the drive there, on when you get to my little town, my suburb, my precinct, your experience in parking your vehicle, your experience in walking to my shop, what you think about the outside of my business, what you think about the inside of my business and the welcome you got. If it was one of those businesses where you phone up first, what sort of support you got. We can kill them all because that's the last thing we got left, but it's the most important thing. Every time you sell a cheap leg of mutton and call it a roasting leg, you lose another customer eventually to somebody else. But if you sold it and says, by the way, this is not lamb, this is mutton, but at $5, I call that because it used to be $4.99 each, not anymore. A thin slice will cost you that now. But I used to say, if you told them it was mutton, and that instead of cooking it for 2 hours, so they end up with this leather they're trying to serve to their kids, that you told them it needed 4 or 5 hours of slow cooking. Go shopping, put the oven on 120 and just walk away. If instead of in 5 hours you come back in 6, it won't even be burnt because it's on such a low temperature. and it'll be succulent. And that's communication, that's honesty. Customers don't like to be ripped off. If you're in business and you're not doing some charity work, shame on you. You have a duty to put back. And when you get involved, it's dynamite. Why shouldn't nice people become nice people instead of staying in their little hovel and complaining about how everything is bad and crook? If the signs outside are grotty and horrible, yeah, must sell shit in there. If the people that are working there don't say hello or are badly dressed or whatever, oh, they must not be proud of what they're doing. If the place is dimly lit, oh, they're too embarrassed to be noticed. Do you follow what I mean? It's so important to lift up. There is so much that can be done, but it needs courage and commitment. Maybe it's garlic time and you've gone to the trouble to grab a few heads of garlic and put them in little pots, and as soon as they start to shoot up, you say, here, plant this at home, and don't forget you don't only use the bulb at the bottom, but all the green leaves are gorgeous in scrambled eggs in the morning. You get so excited. You actually do believe in it. So it's not just a business ploy or tactic. If you're going to do it because you care, and you might not be able to defend how pretty the shops are. You might not be able to defend how good the roads are. You might not be able to defend the graffiti. You might not be able to defend some apathy in some of the other businesses. But surely you can find something nice to say about your community and about some of the businesses around here. Every one of you is responsible for the image that's happening here. How good is the name of your business? God, I hate it when the business name... Just show it to somebody who doesn't know you. What do you think I do? Got no idea. Look how short they've gotten over the last few years. We've got TV stations called E. We got 3. We got B. That's how short, because it's so critical for people to remember. And then you need your byline to be able to say what it is that you do. It's no use being E, because that doesn't say what you do. You need the byline, whatever they use underneath. Although, you know, after a while you're brainwashed and you know. Have you checked out your opposition? Have you seen what they do? First of all, you're a butcher, 1 of 5,000. So then you say, okay, I'm a butcher that also sells veal, because everybody does beef, lamb and pork. So I chuck in veal. I suddenly become 1 of 2,000 around the country. You know what? I want to do some prepared food, some value-added meats. I suddenly come down to 1 of 600. You know what? I want to start taking a few classes with my customers. But, geez, I don't think there is another one of those. I want to start cooking some meat. Oh yeah, there's about 50 of those around the country. I want to serve people in their homes if they're willing to pay. Shit, I don't think there's another one of those. You get my drift? Although I belong to a tough council, thank God for a couple of nice councillors in my area. Because if you haven't got nice councillors, you're in trouble. They are the biggest arseholes on earth. They can be so tough when they come in from outside and all they want to do is wield a big stick, because their staff already got a bigger stick than anybody else. So you need caring, loving councillors. You need to join them in saying, what are we going to do with this town? What's going to make it nice? What's going to make it less costly? If I drive into town, I see on the left-hand side after I pass those 2 buildings, there's a sort of a little oriental shop that's got a bit of stuff on the street. Yippee! If that person had the courage to know that the council would allow them to put that. I reckon he's put it there illegally. I don't think for 1 minute that makeshift that he's done, he's got permission for. Hey, I don't know. I'm speaking off the cuff. But if he honestly knew somebody went up, you know what, you keep doing what you're doing, but do me a favour, lift up the standard of the shelves, make them really nice, and we'll let you get away with it for 3 years till this place is bustling. And then we'll charge you a fee for that space. You need to get down to the human level. There's too many rules out there for us to stay home and just read the rule. You can do this, you can't do that. A little precinct like this needs some passion, some love, some caring. The only place for small business is the local newspaper, because you can't afford the state newspaper. It's too expensive. But the local newspaper to some businesses can be too expensive too. So you get the rep and you sit them down and you have a cup of coffee with them and you talk about your plans. And you say, is there any chance that we can find an affordable little ad that I can have for 12 months? Maybe it's once a week, maybe it's once a fortnight, maybe it's once a month. But even once a month, 12 ads for the year, they love signing you up. Can I have 50% off? And 95 times out of 100 they'll say yes. Don't tell anybody. You need that for your business. You can't possibly hide in your little business waiting for customers to always come. And you can't afford to spend money only when you're desperate. The moment you start advertising when you're desperate only, it's too late. You've got to advertise when things are good. What we can do in this town, a community kitchen would allow every grandmother or person who wants to make something for a school, for a fete, for the markets, a chance to work in a legal kitchen. That would be a first. Imagine all those grandmothers and mums that used to feel so useful and now feel useless because they can't make cakes or biscuits for people that they love. Let's find every community group that we can say, can you come up with a product that you can sell at our markets? Because our markets in Bassendean are going to have no costs for 3 years. You've got 3 years to build up a business. Give awards. Whether it's the best looking business, whether it's the best mannered, I don't care. Make them, I don't care how insignificant they may seem to you, sometimes they come at a time that lifts people's personal feelings through the roof. Others are just tossing in the drawer. Who cares? No harm's done. Let's find festivals. We haven't got a tomato festival. Just imagine how they come around with a tomato throwing and tomato sauce competitions, tomato salad competitions. Think of everything that happens at the Royal Show and do it for the small area. Say maybe, you know, who can make the best pie, who can grow the biggest bean or the best cabbage. So you've all got to become parking inspectors, and everybody finds a nice little spot that suits them, especially when a town is quiet and they don't send inspectors around. Protect yourselves. Be firm and stern and happy. So come on, mate, don't park here. Walk another 100 yards, give us a chance to survive. Do something for yourselves, be proud of yourselves. This is a great little precinct. It's so easy to drive past. Give them lots of reasons to drive in. Thank you.